Today, we're going to explore a completely different way of thinking about learning English. One that's all about trading that feeling of burnout for joy and swapping complexity for a little bit of calm. This whole philosophy comes from the Captivating Ways of Learning English channel. And honestly, it might just change everything you thought you knew about becoming fluent.
So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You're staring at a textbook, feeling totally overwhelmed. Maybe you've tried all the apps, you've done the grammar drills, but you're still left with this nagging feeling of just burnout. It's such a common frustration, right? That sense that for all the work you're putting in, something really important is just missing.
But what if we'd been looking at this whole thing the wrong way? What if the path to fluency isn't meant to be this stressful uphill climb, but more of a peaceful, maybe even an inspiring journey? Well, that's the big idea we're diving into today, that learning can actually be meaningful and, yes, even joyful. Okay, so to really understand this, we need to get right to the heart of the philosophy. This isn't just about a few new techniques. It's about a total shift in why we're doing it in the first place. Let's take a look at the why behind this entire method. Here it is. The core mission is to make learning English feel alive and human. It's all about taking the language off the page and weaving it right into the fabric of your actual life. The real goal here is connection, not just memorizing a bunch of rules. And really, when it comes down to it, this approach sees language as a tool for your own personal growth. It's about connecting English to your own identity, so you can express who you truly are, but with a sense of calm and real confidence. So, this philosophy actually has a name: minimal learning. Now, let's break down exactly what that means and how it all works in practice. Minimal learning is really about cutting through all the noise. Instead of trying to absorb everything all at once, you just focus on a single meaningful piece. It could be one concept, one story, or even one single emotion. The whole idea is to go deep, not wide. So, this approach is built on four core principles. It all starts with focusing on just one concept at a time. Then, and this is key, it connects that concept to an emotion. The goal is always to prioritize clarity and calm, keeping everything beautifully simple. It's all designed to get rid of the stress and actually boost what you remember. And this really shows the difference, right? On the left, you've got that familiar world of cramming and stress. But on the right, you see the alternative: a calm, focused way of learning that's all about connection, emotion, and taking small, consistent steps forward. And you know what? There's some pretty simple science behind all of this. Our brains are literally wired to learn better when we're emotionally engaged. When you genuinely enjoy something, your brain releases dopamine. That's the motivation molecule, and it helps lock that information into your long-term memory. It's all about getting your heart and your mind to work together. To make this happen, the lessons themselves are designed to be short and powerful. Seriously, we're talking just 5 to 10 minutes. The goal is to give you one clear, potent idea that you can easily fit into your day without it ever feeling like a chore. So, what does this philosophy actually look like in practice? How does it feel? Let's take a look at the kind of content you'd actually be engaging with. All the content is pulled directly from real life.
So instead of abstract grammar rules, you might explore the language we use in our daily routines, or maybe dive into fascinating cultural traditions from around the world. You could be discussing social topics like kindness and mental health, or seeing how science and technology are changing our vocabulary. It makes the language immediately relevant. And what this means is that learning becomes a real experience, not just some academic subject. You're not just memorizing the phrase for ordering a coffee. You're imagining the warmth of the cup in your hands, the smell of the shop. You actually feel the interaction. And you know what? That's what makes it stick.
So, this brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. This entire approach reframes language learning from a frantic race to a finish line into a kind of continuous personal journey.
This is such a powerful mantra for learning, well, for learning anything really. It's not about that one marathon, 8 hour study session. It's about the small, consistent effort you put in every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Those little steps are what build real, lasting momentum.
And this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the philosophy. The idea is that learning a language and personal development are really intertwined. As you learn to express yourself in a new way, you can't help but discover new things about yourself and see the world through a much wider lens. And this focus on personal growth is woven directly into the lessons themselves. You'll find topics that touch on things like mindfulness, sparking your creativity, building better relationships, all of which turns the act of learning English into a path for self-improvement. Let's end on this really powerful central message. It's an invitation to just release all that pressure of perfectionism and comparing yourself to others. The real focus is on the transformation that happens slowly, steadily, and meaningfully over time. And so, I'll leave you with this final question to think about. What if you shifted your goal away from just achieving fluency and instead focused on simply enjoying the process? Because adopting that one mindset might just be the most powerful change you can make on your English journey.